Hey, and welcome to the Life in a Bookshelf podcast with Beck Mills. Here you will find convos about well-being, about home, and a bunch of book love as well. We chat all things from health hacks to simplifying our home, to decluttering, to mini book reviews for you as well. Let's take this 30-something life head on and start creating a really positive impact in our own lives, in our families, and out into our wider communities. So glad that you're here. Let's jump on in. Hey again, great to be back here with you. Today's thought of the day is around the old saying that kicks around at this time of year every year, new you, and other BS that might be keeping you stuck right now. So this slogan always comes around, but it always grates on my nerves a little bit. I love the energy of the new year. Like, don't get me wrong, like I was saying in the last podcast episode, like I love it. It's that time for reflection. It's that time for getting excited for what's ahead. But this saying in particular gets to me a little bit because like new year, new you. I think maybe it's association with the fitness and health industry gets to me a little bit. As if, we don't have all ourselves coming with us into the new year. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So make sure you connect with me over on Instagram. And yeah, like every year you might have heard the old saying, like wherever you go, there you are. So whatever new thing you're doing, there you are. Whatever place you're visiting, there you are. You are always with you. And that is definitely not to say that people can't change, because people change every single day. That's not what's in question here. It's just that the new year, there's always this big, like, I can be something completely different to what I have been the last 30 years or whatever it is. And I feel like it's not super helpful. I get why they say it, but I do believe the saying in itself is a bit BS, and it might actually be keeping a lot of us stuck, because when things start to get hard, like maybe we've got a new routine, or we've changed something in our lives, or we've eliminated something from our diet, or we have started going to the gym every day, or whatever you like, it could be anything. Whenever, life happens and the kids get sick, or you've got to all of a sudden go away and visit an like family member, or maybe you get sick and you're sick for a week, and sort of like things like life happens, right? And all of a sudden you are pulled away from this new identity, this new you that you've created. And maybe that's when our habits, like things that we've always done, we've always leaned on, this is when they start coming back in. And then you might get really down on yourself, and you might start beating yourself up mentally because you were not able to stick to this new routine, or whatever it is, at the gym every day for 30 days in a row, or what have you. I'm just using the fitness and health industry as an example, but it could be, reading a chapter of a book every day, or something happens at work and now you've got this big project that you've got to work on maybe in the evenings or whatever it is. And we could start to get really, like, I know I have before, like gotten really down on myself and like, "Oh, why can't life just be kind? And why can't, I just become this new version of me that I want to become?" And the reason I say about it maybe keeping us stuck is because we're leaning kind of into that all or nothing mentality as well. Like, I know I certainly have done this. And, if I can't do this every single day, or if I can't even manage to do this for a week, then I must, it's not for me. Or, it's going to be too hard. Or, um, I'm just weak when this thing is around me and I just want to consume it all the time. Whatever it is, but beating ourselves up mentally definitely can keep us stuck. Um, and which is one reason that I'm not real keen on this saying. And I 100% believe that a new year is full of so many possibilities. But every single day is full of opportunities. Every single hour is full of opportunities. And I think at this time of year, sort of like the early part of the year, we extend our thoughts out towards the rest of the year and we're looking, maybe thinking about the whole year, as a whole. And I do this, but I think that's not always helpful because, yeah, like I love big goals and I love big things to go after. Um, but I also think there's a lot of value in just bringing it back. Okay, what about this week? Like, what can I go after this week? And just bringing that timeline back in a little bit, I think could be really, really, really helpful when you've got a big goal. Like, yeah, have those big goals, but how can we chunk it down and be like, okay, well, in order to get to that goal, I would love to start doing this 5 days a week or whatever it is. And just taking a note of that and being like, okay, my goal is to do this, this would be the best outcome this week to have it done, like do it 5 days this week. But what also is going to be good? 3 days. Okay, so 3 days is going to be good. 5 days is going to be the best. Like bringing that timeline back a little bit, I feel can be super, super, super helpful. And also in regards to like our habits and like those things that we know ourselves like the best, right? Even though we think we know other people quite well, a lot of the time we do, but we know ourselves and what our habits are. And sometimes the things that can hold us back, we know what they are. Time and time again, maybe they've gotten us off the rails, but like we've fallen off the wagon a little bit. And we know what those habits are, right? And I have last year I read The Slight Edge, which is a great book. I feel like the book, no offense to the author, but I feel like the book could be condensed at least half of what it is. Uh, but maybe it's there for all kinds of readers. But I really love the book, The Slight Edge. And honestly, it's about making things as easy to do as it is not to do. So we all have that thing, right? So I'm like, oh, whether it's flossing your teeth or whether it's drinking a big glass of water before you have your first coffee in the morning, whatever it is, whether it's you want to start journaling and writing down your thoughts every day, but you feel like, oh gosh, it's gonna take half an hour. I don't have half an hour in the morning, and then you just don't do it, right? Um, but you want something to be as easy to do as it is not to do. And the reason being is because if we can manage to make things easy, so it's like literally like flossing for 10 seconds, right? And you think, what's the point? What's the point? If I can't do it, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly. Da, 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 da. That this is the point. Like literally journaling. Okay, I'm going to do 3 sentences and then I'm going to stop. And you think, ugh, but I've got so much more like that I could write. But the thing is to not burn yourself out. And same goes with anything, any type of movement, whether it's walking, whether it's running, whether it's work related. So the reason I say easy not to do, so when things are easy not to do, they're easy not to do, right? And they don't get done. And when we really want to change a habit or we want to create a new healthy habit or whatever it is, we must make it easy to do. And this also goes back to another book that I love, and I think everybody would benefit from reading this book, is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I love that book. But yeah, The Slight Edge and Atomic Habits, I think, are amazing reading for anyone that's into it. But think about it as in like a little better every day rather than going out and being like, okay, all of January, I'm doing a run streak every day, 30 days or whatever it is. I'm going to eat no sugar for 30 days or whatever it is. Just it's about those micro steps in creating the new habit. And it doesn't feel sexy, like it's not sexy. It's actually quite boring to do it this way. But the outcomes you can get are astronomical because you're getting that compounding effect of building these activities and building these habits and making it easier and easier as you just do a little bit every day, a little bit better every day, 1% better every day. That's the old saying. But like, these things are also going to be very easy not to do. And that's going to lead you to not doing the things that you want to do. And they might, in time, detrimentally affect what you want to be feeling, whether it's to do with work, whether it's to do with health, or like anything. So, like I said, that compounding effect is what you want. A little better every day, and just a little bit to start with. And it doesn't feel sexy, and it doesn't feel like it's making a difference, and it doesn't feel like you're doing enough. And I promise you, all these things I've felt, and I'm like, what is the point, of doing such a little amount every day? But I promise you, the compounding effects are really, really exciting. And change, if change is what you're after, whatever area of life that you're in, this is a great way to do it. And like I said, not sexy, it's boring, you'll be frustrated, you're like, why can't I just go out and do it? But the very real effect of trying to go all in on something, whether it's, insert any New Year's resolution or goal. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for going in for a challenge, for sure. But if you're looking to create some radical change in your life, going at it step by step, baby step by baby step over time, creating those habits, making it easy to do, as easy as it is not to do, is really, really, really such a game changer. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. If you've ever got stuck when you're sort of gone all in on something and then you've just burnt out, or you just gotten over it so quickly, and you found yourself, or life's happened and you just come back to those old habits, and and they might not necessarily be ones that you want to continue, but you just don't know how to break that cycle. I'd love to hear if you found this helpful. That's the thought for today. I'm going to leave it there, and I'll be back really soon. Have a good one. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead, hit that follow button wherever you listen to your podcast. And I would super, super duper appreciate it if you leave a 5-star rating on Spotify. What this does is it helps others like yourself to discover the podcast more easily and enjoy the episodes. I appreciate it so, so much. Have a wonderful day. You absolutely deserve it. We'll see you next time.